Dreams have always given me a different perspective on existence, because when you're in the dream, all the specifics of your own ordinary daily life sort of just disappear, as if you're not you anymore, as if your life is just somebody else's story, and you're looking in on life itself as a whole, again, as an observer, as a stranger, an observer in life. That's kind of the perspective you have as a child, I believe. As a baby, you're like an observer and a stranger to life. And just after a couple years of lying around observing what's going on, then you start to play a little role in life. Mostly, at least I think mostly, it's about doing what your parents tell you should do. That's how it starts. And from that, the role builds up and evolves. So then by the time you're 5 or 6 years old, you're in school, you're starting to be given other roles by the teachers. It expects you to do what they're told. Some of the other kids, some of them expect you to do this or do that, or behave this way, or treat them like the boss. You know, already at the age of 5 years old, certain kids are setting themselves up as the boss. What the hell is with people? So the question is, you look at life objectively, and to do that, you simply discard your own personal specifics of your own identity, which happens very easily when you go to sleep. All those specifics of your ordinary daily identity can easily just completely disappear in a moment when you go to sleep and you're in a dream. And again, you're viewing life objectively as an observer, and you start to wonder, why are these people doing these things? Why are these people acting this way? And that's definitely a question that persists about life itself. We in life get all wrapped up in being in the role that we are, that we're given and that we create for ourselves from day to day, from the time we're born until the day we die. We have these roles that are either given to us or created by us, or a combination. Roles that just happen. And we're inside of it. We're like a mouse inside of a maze. So our daily life becomes this corridor that we're going down, not able to see it from the outside, just seeing it from a perspective of inside the maze, going down the corridor, looking with this door or that door, which way am I going to go? But in your dream, you're like a person observing the mouse from above, and you're able to see, well, why is this mouse taking this path? Can't you see that the cheese isn't anywhere near there? Can't you see that the way out is way down there? But you can't. So dreams make me, and waking from dreams, they give you the perspective of making you ask, why the hell do people really want to be the way they are? Sometimes. Some people just have this mentality that you just have to ask why. It just even just thinking about it turns my stomach a little bit, to think how certain people have certain nasty attitudes, and they don't have to. They should be, and they talk about being free. If people were really free, God, people talk about freedom, look how free we are, because we kill people. In other countries, we kill people, so that makes us free. If we were really free, we would be free of all this bullshit that we go through every day, that we can't even free ourselves from thought patterns. People aren't even able to free themselves of thought patterns and of mentality and attitude problems that they have. They have these crazy attitudes they can't even free themselves from. They can't free themselves from routine. They can't free themselves from dogma. People that are shouting the most about freedom are the people that are the most enslaved by dogma. That's what it comes down to. So that's the real question when you look at life objectively, and not as the rat inside the maze, but looking from above, down at the rat moving through the maze. And you wonder, why the hell would why the hell would all of us, as little rats that we are, choose to live the little lives that we live? Because they pretty much suck. And the attitudes of human beings pretty much generally suck. And that is really a weird thing when you look at life objectively from the outside and ask yourself, what is an identity? What is a mind? And if people really do have minds that are capable of being independent and thinking on their own, why the hell would people choose to live their lives with the sort of enslaving, nasty attitudes that people have? And that's one of the very, very basic questions that persist through life, I think, through my life. And I see it only more. On the internet, you get to encounter and to interact with all of these. Most of the people that you interact with on the internet are people you would have never encountered in person in your life if the internet didn't exist. They live in other places, and some of them speak other languages that you'd never know and you'd never encounter. And now you get to deal with these mentalities, and there's not really a great variety, a great selection. When you look at the actual variety of selections, there are a variety of mentalities to choose from that if you were to categorize people, it doesn't seem to really be that many different mentalities. Lots of different identities, but not that many different mentalities. And people commenting, they're either going to be pretty much one way or the other, more or less. There's a north, south, east, and a west, and maybe an up and a down. And that gives you about 6 different basic directions of personalities or mentalities. And that's pretty much covers it. So you can look at any person that you're interacting with, and you can say, well, this person is more of a north. This person's comments are pointing more in the northerly direction, or this person's comments are more in a southwest direction. That's all. I mean, you have a compass, and your compass has 360 degrees, but it's still 4 basic directions. From those 4 basic directions, you can come up with 360 degrees. And that's what we do, I think. So there's maybe what we should do is sort of design a personality compass. It'd probably be very simple. So in the same way that they have these personality tests, usually with 3 or 4 different, well, like the Myers-Briggs test has 4 different measurements, and you've got a left or a right, or a yes or a no on each of these 4 different qualities. And by combining these 4, the yes and the no on this, the 1 or the 2 option on these 4 different qualities, they come up with 14 different combinations out of 4 qualities. And that's sort of how it is. So instead of northeast, southwest. It's whatever the four qualities of Myers-Briggs measures. So the same principle of four different directions, four different qualities. And from this you can get 360 degrees of variation. So those are a few thoughts about personalities and identities, and this sort of elusive thought that I have from my dreams of questioning, why are people such jerks? And why did, it just even just it hurts my stomach just to try to even face this question, and it's a very real, persistent, underlying question in my whole mind. Right at the base of my mind, there's this question which seems to come out in my dreams of, why do people have to be such utter jerks? How? Why can't they get themselves to stop? People who are jerks and lying bastards can't get themselves to stop, even if, first of all, it's very difficult for them to get to the point of wanting to change them to stop being jerks. And then even if they do reach that point for any moment of their life, they're not capable. They're so invested in this mentality of being a jerk that they are not capable of changing, even if they felt the inkling of thinking they might want to change. And so they go on being jerks about everything. And you try to talk to them, and their reactions are the reactions of being jerks. And they can't listen to what you have to say. Because everything you have to say, they have to respond with a "I'm a arrogant bastard" type of a thing. I think about my brother. My brother was never able in his life to genuinely say the simple things we are told as children to learn to say: please, and thank you, and I'm sorry. Because those three expressions, please and thank you and I'm sorry, have at their base a perspective of some degree of humility. To say please means you have to be humble enough that you're saying somebody else's opinion is or interest is maybe at least equal to my own, if not above my own, so I must say please to this person. To say thank you has a degree of humbleness, because you're saying, well, it was a good thing what you did for me. I didn't necessarily deserve it, or in any case, you didn't necessarily have to do it for me, so I will say thank you. There's an attitude of humility in that, and I'm sorry. There's an attitude of humility in saying I'm sorry. And my brother was always such an arrogant bastard that he could never say in a genuine tone please or thank you or I'm sorry. The only times I ever heard him say those phrases, was out of exasperation and irritation. He would say, please, please! Or he would say, thank you! Thank you! I can't believe I had to wait for you to give me this already. Thank you! Or I'm sorry. I'm sorry! Means, leave me, don't stop criticizing me. Don't say anything, I don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry! Shut up already! I'm sorry means shut up already. Please means give it to me already. And thank you means God, finally! That's what it means. Thank you means God, finally. And please means give it to me already. And I'm sorry means shut up already. And that's the attitude that my brother, in his complete arrogant mentality and identity, his the whole personality, it's more than personality. It's this whole essence of his being had this complete lack of humility, this complete arrogance and conceit that he's the best person in the world and everybody else owes him whatever he wants. So he never has to say please in a genuine manner. It's just please, like, why haven't you given it to me? He never has to say thank you in a genuine, grateful manner. It has to be thank you and finally, it took you so long. And he never has to say I'm sorry in a genuine manner, because he never has to feel sorry about anything, because he is entitled to do whatever he wants. I'm sorry just means shut up already. I shouldn't have to hear this, because I'm the king. I'm the king of the castle, and you're the dirty rascals. And that's the game that my brother loved to play, and the kids like him as children, always loved to play. I'm the king of the castle, you're the dirty rascals. Always pushing people off of whatever little thing they've set up as this is the great hill that we have to fight over. So I guess my experience with my brother from my early childhood created this knot in my stomach of wondering why do people have to have this kind of an essence of their being, of this arrogance, this hostility. That's what it is. Arrogance and hostility. And there's so many people in this world that are so full of arrogance and hostility and nastiness. And when you go to sleep and you're dreaming, and sometimes you encounter these personalities in your dreams. Again, you're seeing it from the outside. You're as an observer, as if viewing life for the first time, and wondering, where the hell does all this come from? And can't you see how terribly unhealthy it is? Let's end another fascinating rambling talk by My Little Pony. Thanks for listening.